speaking from my own personal experience, every single time that I've been to trial, it's because the insurance company is not being fair in their settlement offers. And so there could be a number of ways or reasons why they aren't being fair in the offers. The stats say that somewhere around 90 to 97% of personal injury cases settle before trial, but obviously some do go to trial. And so how do you know if yours might be one of those that will go to trial? That's what we're going to talk about in this video. And so as a starting point, it's important to understand what trial actually means. A lot of people confuse trial with going to court, and it is going to court, but trial is probably the biggest moment in the litigation process, and it kind of marks the end of the litigation process. There can be appeals and stuff after, but trial is where we are going to court. Most personal injury cases are about a week long in trial, and ultimately it's in front of a judge and a jury, and the jury is making the decision on the case. In personal injury cases, they're deciding who's at fault and how much the damages are. So when we look at why cases go to trial, speaking from my own personal experience, every single time that I've been to trial, it's because the insurance company is not being fair in their settlement offers. And so there could be a number of ways or reasons why they aren't being fair in the offers. In some cases, they're disputing what we call liability, or who's at fault for the incident. In other cases, they're disputing what we call causation, or did the incident in question cause the injuries that the plaintiff, the hurt person, is complaining of. Or in some cases, they just don't believe that a jury would ultimately like the plaintiff or the hurt person. Those are really the three biggest buckets. And obviously there are lots of sub layers to each of those. We tell every client as they're going through this process and they're evaluating offers from the other side, there are really three ranges of offers that are apparent and pop up in every single case. The first sort of range of offers are offers that are so low, it's really, really easy for us to tell the client, no way, don't even think twice about that offer. Let us do our thing. And maybe that means going to trial, right? We've had plenty of those scenarios where the other side is making that sort of range, that lowball range of offers, and we go to trial and we get a great result, many, many multiples of what the other side or insurance company is offering. There's also the opposite of that, where the offer is so high, it's easy for us to tell our clients, you got to take it. In those scenarios, we're not going to trial. The case almost always settles when we're in that scenario. And then there's everything in between. In that middle range, the other side is offering an amount that could make sense for the client to take. It just really is a personal decision. That's usually the term that I use with clients. Hey, I could see you accepting this offer, but it's really your decision. And I educate them on all of the different avenues that we could take, the risks and the potential rewards. And I tell them, hey, it's your call. We like going to trial. And so we'll go try your case if that's what you want to do. But also if you want to wrap it up and you want to settle, that's okay too, when we're in that middle range. So those are really the three ranges of offers. And when you're in that middle range, which is honestly where most cases end up, then it just becomes a personal decision for the client. And so some clients in that range, they say, hey, I don't believe that's fair and I want to go to trial. And so we do. And then sometimes they say, you know what, I just want the peace of mind and I want this process to be over with. And so we're going to wrap it up, and that's okay too. So here at Chubb Law, we always believe our job is to achieve the best outcome for each individual client. And so each client that we have is different and has different things going on in their lives and usually different things that they're dealing with. And so the best outcome really depends on the circumstances. So sometimes that involves trial, and sometimes that involves a really good settlement. As long as we're serving the clients, we feel like we're doing our job.